But let's start with baseball, Chris. Mariners beat the Braves 3-1, clinched the series. Bryan Woo was outstanding. This Braves team came to town having won every series of the season. That was their first losing series.
Well, we're looking at the picture right there, Bryan Woo and Paul. On this show, we have spent so much time talking about Emerson Hancock and his great season. We talked about George Kirby yesterday on this show and how great George Kirby has been. And the ace said, you know what, guys, I'm going to start pitching like the ace. Bryan Woo had a couple rough starts there, Paul. He went 6 innings, gave up 7 hits and 6 runs against Kansas City. In St. Louis, we remember that game, just 3 innings, 9 hits, 7 runs. There was people out there, uh-oh, is something wrong with Bryan Woo? And Woo just shut up everybody last night, Paul. I mean, yesterday afternoon, just a great performance from Bryan Woo.
Yeah, you know what's cool about that, as you mentioned, he gave up 13 earned runs in his last 2 starts, which is way off. And Dan Wilson kept saying, look, he's going to be fine. And he bounced back yesterday. I think that, when you get these guys that are so competitive like he is, and you're going against a lineup like the Braves has, I mean, their top hitters, I think, had 1 hit in this game against Woo. So, I mean, he was outstanding against their best. And when you get a guy like out, here's the other thing. He goes out there and he throws 6 strong, and then you go to the bullpen, and those guys. Jose Ferrer has been outstanding, too, a subject for another day, but give him props as well.
Well, and you said a couple things there. Yeah, 1 hit against the most explosive team, offensive team in baseball right now, the Braves. Just 1 single hit. And we're going to hear from Dan Wilson in just a second here about the importance of Bryan Woo coming out and pitching that 6th inning. What that does is it now really sets up your bullpen. And when you have to pull your starter in the 4th or the 5th inning, now your bullpen's kind of scrambling. We've seen that this season with this Mariners team. So what Bryan Woo did, he put his team in a great position to win. As I mentioned, had a couple rough starts. He rebounded nicely yesterday. Here's Dan Wilson and Bryan Woo talking about the big performance yesterday.
Bryan Woo really bounced back today. We talked about it before the game, but this was a great job by him. And I thought, going out there in the 6th inning, 85 pitches I think he was at, hoping he'd get through it, and boy, did he nailed it. And that was really big. It set us up, for the bullpen later in that ball game. And
just try to simplify things, honestly. Feels like the last 2 starts, just try to do too much, think too much, diving into scouting reports maybe too much, just like thinking too much, honestly. I feel like just my best brand of baseball is do my homework before and talk to catchers and whatnot, but like when it's time to go on the mound, just go compete. And I feel like I kind of got away from that the last 2 starts.
Now, it's interesting talking to Bryan Woo, listening to Bryan Woo. This season he seems to kind of reveal a little bit more. He kept his answers usually pretty tight over the last couple of years, but he's letting us in on a little bit more of what he's thinking and his thought process. And the fact that he's keeping it simple reminds us all, even in the sports world, that, hey, Chris, you know this, when it comes to baseball, I don't think we all really appreciate how much studying goes on behind the scenes. These pitchers study the hitters up and down. The hitters study the pitchers up and down to see what they can expect. It's just the other day, you're talking about, I forgot who was at the plate, but he basically said he saw a changeup, and he knew this pitcher likes to throw changeups. He's going to bring another one. He jumped all over it. So there's just a lot of studying that goes on. I think it's really interesting to hear these guys talk about it.
Well, 100%. And it's interesting because when you talk about baseball, I feel like we've heard so much through the youth baseball days. You hear the youth parents like, just forget it, move on. Just forget it, move on. Flush it, move on to the next at bat. Flush it, move on. Well, now this is a couple times this season, Paul, where we've heard from a couple pitchers that said, you know what, it's great to flush it and try to move on, but let's learn from it. Andres Munoz had that terrible outing in San Diego. He went back, studied that outing. What went wrong? How can I get better? He's had some roller coaster rides since then, but he continues to study. Bryan Woo, rough start in St. Louis, rough start against Kansas City. Sure, it's easy for a parent or a coach to flush it, move on, Bryan. No, he went back, looked at the tape. What am I doing? What do I need to get back to doing? And he learned from it. And what do we get? An incredible outing against arguably the best offense in all of baseball. So this is a huge sign for the Mariners as they hit the road now. The pitching staff is rolling. The bat's still a little roller coaster, but there are some guys on that lineup, Paul, and possibly some new names rolling in. Not new names, but our friend Brendan Donovan coming back soon. So hopefully this is a sign that they can get consistent. You can't continue to have a great series, 2 good series on the roads, and then lay an egg against Kansas City. They need to get consistent, and it needs to start now.
Yeah, that's the one that really scratches your head, the fact that they come back from that great road trip and they lay an egg against the Royals. But again, bounce back against the Braves, one of the best in baseball. And, you're starting to see Dan Wilson move some guys into the lineup, move them up and down the lineup. Cole Young jumps up to the 6th spot. He has been outstanding, Chris. The fact that over his last 18 or 20 games, he's hitting close to 388. We'll look at his stats in just a few, but he's been impressive here.
Look at that right there.
Come on, 333 over the last 18 games for Cole Young, and again, it should be Cole, C-O-A-L, because he is smoking hot over the last few weeks. Attaboy. On the season, 276. And you think about these things, Chris, and you talk about moving these guys up and down the lineup, and Brendan Donovan coming back. Is he going to go to lead off? But some of these guys are just comfortable where they are. There's some pressure up at the top of that lineup, maybe less pressure at the bottom.
Yeah, Cole has been on fire, Paul. And the thing I love about Cole Young is, yeah, he was 3 for 4 in that game, but he is coming through in the clutch in these baseball games. When they need him, Cole Young is delivering. This is the young rising star. And then again, you got that kid down in Tacoma, Cole and Colt, the 2 Coles. Cole and Colt. It's going to be fun when Colt gets called up because he's doing some damage in Tacoma right now. But Cole Young just continues to impress. And with 2 strikes on him, he doesn't seem to waver at all. He actually gets better when he's got 2 strikes on him. Here's Dan Wilson talking about Cole Young in the clutch.
I think everybody takes a little different approach when they go up there, but we as a team, talk a lot about using the middle of the field, and that's kind of the benefit is that if you get something away, you can go away with it or go up the middle with it. If you get something in, you're able to turn on it, and I think that's what staying in the middle is all about, and I think it's really been effective for Cole, and he's able to shoot balls the other way, but in situations where he gets something inside and he gets to it, he's going to pull it down the line.
Cole Young's been hot. Brendan Donovan, Paul, coming back soon. I think there's a lot of concern. I saw it on social media last night and today saying, Egan, can you break down Cal Raleigh? What's going wrong with the big dumper right now? Well, it's going to continue to take some time with the big dumper. He's coming back. He missed 3 games, Paul. Had some soreness on his side, his oblique area. I think the good news here, Paul, is he didn't go to the IL, didn't go to the injured list. You need Cal in this lineup. We heard from Bill Kruger on this show yesterday, whether he's hitting or not, you want the big dumper in the lineup every single day, and you want him working with the pitchers as soon as he can get catching again. So I'm not hitting the panic button regarding Cal and his hitting at this point. It's going to take a little time. Hopefully he can find his timing on the road. Hopefully he can get catching again too, Paul, as well. I don't move him in the lineup at all. Leave Cal where he needs to be right now. Yeah, and leave Cole Young there as well, too.
Yeah, it is interesting when you talk about Cal, because the fact is a lot of these pro athletes have to be protected from themselves because we don't know the extent of his injury. We don't know the extent of his soreness even. He wants to get back and play. Bill Kruger talked about it on our show yesterday, the fact that he doesn't want to come out of the lineup. He wants to play every day. And so if he's still nursing a little bit of an injury and he's not quite 100%, we're not going to see the best Cal Raleigh